Are you searching for a way to stay calm, strategic, and effective in a world that changes rapidly? In this video, we will explore the life and wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi. He was a historical figure who understood how to overcome challenges with adaptability, mental discipline, and strategic thinking. His lessons are still valuable today. They can help you learn how to think clearly, plan ahead, and approach difficulties with confidence. Before we begin, consider how you can apply these insights. Think about an area of your life where you want to become more adaptable, calm, or focused. Then, share your intention with others in the comments below. Start your comment with "I am," followed by a statement of what you aim to improve. For example, you might write, "I am ready to adapt to new professional challenges," or "I am working to remain calm when making important decisions." By sharing your goals, you make a personal commitment. We live in a world that changes at a rapid pace. Technology, social conditions, and global relations shift very quickly. Many people search for methods to adapt and thrive in uncertain environments. Musashi's principles address these needs. His approach is grounded in careful observation, deliberate action, and continuous self-assessment. He showed that a strong strategy and clear thinking are not confined to battlefields. They are useful in ordinary life. In this video, we will consider the historical background that shaped Musashi. We will discuss his major works, including the Book of Five Rings and the Dokkodo, also known as the 21 Precepts. We will explore his major concepts, including adaptability, preparation, and psychological strategies. We will translate these ideas into practical steps that you can apply in daily life. You do not need to be a martial artist to learn from Musashi. Anyone who wishes to improve personal decision-making and strategic thinking can gain value. This will be a long and detailed presentation. We will move step by step through Musashi's philosophies. By the end, you will understand why his methods remain influential. You will learn how to adapt these methods in modern contexts. The goal is to provide clear and literal explanations. This will allow many viewers, including non-native English speakers, to follow along. Please prepare to analyze each concept with patience and care. Let us begin by examining the historical context in which Miyamoto Musashi lived, as this will help explain why his strategies developed as they did. Miyamoto Musashi was born in the late 16th century in Japan. He lived during a period known as the Late Sengoku era. During that time, Japan experienced continuous military conflicts. Various clans competed for power. The social structure was highly influenced by the warrior class, known as samurai. Samurai served feudal lords, and loyalty was a central aspect of their lives. Samurai culture placed importance on skill, honor, and strategic thinking. Musashi's childhood was not comfortable. He lost his parents early. He did not have a traditional supportive family environment. From a young age, he needed to learn how to survive. He faced uncertainty, lack of protection, and minimal guidance. This environment forced him to rely on personal resourcefulness. He learned to analyze situations quickly. He learned to act with caution and care. Every day presented unpredictable challenges. He needed to remain prepared. This early hardship influenced Musashi's worldview. He recognized that a person cannot rely solely on established structures or authorities. He understood the importance of self-reliance. As he grew older, he dedicated himself to the study of martial arts, particularly swordsmanship. At that time, sword duels were not only tests of skill, but also often fights to the death. They required calm judgment, precise technique, and understanding of human nature. Musashi traveled frequently, seeking opportunities to test his skills against other swordsmen. He participated in many duels, reportedly never losing a fight. His reputation grew. He became known for his unique style, strategic approach, and intense focus. He was not only strong and skilled. He was also very observant. He studied his opponents and noticed patterns in their behavior. He predicted their actions and prepared counters in advance. Over time, Musashi realized that pure physical skill was not enough. Physical techniques could be learned and imitated by others. To rise above ordinary skill, a person needed strategic understanding. A person needed a strong mindset, mental discipline, and adaptability. Musashi began to formalize these concepts into teachings. He wanted to document his methods in a clear, structured way. In his later life, Musashi wrote The Book of Five Rings. In this text, he described various elements of strategy, each represented by a different conceptual element: earth, water, fire, wind, and void. He also wrote the Dokkodo, or 21 precepts, near the end of his life. These were guidelines for personal conduct and mentality. Musashi's influence did not remain in the past. Today, leaders, managers, entrepreneurs, and individuals seeking self-improvement still study his work. His lessons are relevant for anyone who wants to think more clearly, adapt to changing circumstances, and overcome challenges. Musashi's teachings center on a few key themes. 1. Adaptability. Musashi believed that no single tactic works in all situations. He recognized that environments change. Opponents vary. Conditions shift. He taught that it is important to remain flexible. One must learn different approaches and adjust them as needed. This idea remains relevant today. Economic conditions change. Technologies evolve. The ability to adapt is valuable. 2. Strategic foresight. Musashi emphasized preparation and planning. He did not simply react to events. He studied his opponents carefully. He predicted their moves. He understood their strategies before the fight began. In modern contexts, strategic foresight means anticipating market trends or foreseeing potential issues before they occur. It means preparing backup plans and maintaining a state of readiness. 3. Mental discipline. Musashi knew that fear, confusion, and anxiety could reduce effectiveness. He practiced mental discipline to remain calm under pressure. This allowed him to think clearly in high-stress situations. Today, many people face stressful environments. Mental discipline techniques can help maintain focus and ensure sound decisions. 4. Continuous learning. Musashi's life was a process of constant self-improvement. He learned from every duel. He learned from success and failure. He did not consider himself perfect. He believed in ongoing refinement. In modern life, continuous learning is essential. Markets change. Job requirements evolve. Skills that were valuable yesterday may need updating today. 5. Understanding one's environment. Musashi observed everything. He did not limit his attention to a single aspect. He considered the terrain, the mindset of his opponent, and the conditions of the encounter. This broad awareness applies now as well. Individuals need to understand the contexts in which they operate. A business professional needs to understand customers, competitors, and industry regulations. A student needs to understand requirements and available resources. These themes are present throughout Musashi's work and his recorded conduct. By understanding them, we can better grasp his written teachings and how to apply them. The Book of Five Rings is Musashi's well-known treatise on strategy. He wrote it in a structured manner. He divided the content into 5 parts, or rings. Each ring represents a conceptual element and a set of related principles. The 5 rings are earth, water, fire, wind, and void. It is important to understand that Musashi used these elements as organizing principles. He did not focus on mystical interpretations. Instead, he used them to categorize strategic concepts. The principles he taught were practical. They related to understanding oneself, understanding opponents, and applying appropriate methods in each situation. Let us consider each of the 5 rings in detail. 1. Earth. The Earth section deals with foundational principles. It sets the stage for the rest of the text. In this section, Musashi explains the fundamental stance, posture, and general approach to fighting. He emphasizes that without a strong foundation, it is impossible to develop advanced techniques. For modern readers, the Earth Ring reminds us of the importance of basic skills. If you want to excel in any area, you must first build a solid base. Without fundamental knowledge and stable principles, more complex strategies will collapse. 2. Water. The water section focuses on flexibility and adaptability. Just as water takes the shape of any container, a skilled strategist adjusts to any situation. Musashi suggests flowing from one technique to another without hesitation. This principle encourages an adaptable mindset that remains calm and effective in different circumstances. In modern life, adaptability is crucial. When faced with new conditions, changing rules, or unpredictable outcomes, it is necessary to adjust approaches immediately. 3. Fire. The fire section addresses the energy and intensity of engagement. It discusses tactics to overwhelm or disrupt an opponent. Musashi explains that sometimes direct action and controlled aggression are necessary. For modern individuals, fire represents the ability to take decisive action. Sometimes waiting or observing is not enough. There are moments when a person must act clearly and assertively to achieve a goal. 4. Wind. The wind section examines other schools of martial arts and competing strategies. Musashi stresses the importance of understanding different methods. By studying the strategies of others, one can identify strengths and weaknesses. This allows a strategist to prepare more effectively. In a modern sense, wind represents market research, competitor analysis, and understanding diverse perspectives. It encourages looking outside one's normal approach to gain insight. 5. Void. The void section is more abstract. It refers to the state of no mind and the absence of preconceived notions. Musashi suggests that a person who reaches the state of void can act spontaneously and correctly without hesitation. It involves deep internalization of principles. For a modern individual, void suggests reaching a level of mastery where decisions are made naturally and effectively, without conscious struggle. The Book of Five Rings is not only for swordsmen. Its principles can help individuals think strategically in various fields. The text encourages careful preparation, adaptability, understanding of competitors, and mastery that leads to effortless action. This approach can improve problem-solving, leadership, and innovation. Each ring can guide us in ordinary, non-combat situations. 1. Earth. Foundations in modern life. In daily life, Earth reminds us that no skill or project can succeed without strong basics. For example, if you want to learn a new language, first master basic vocabulary and grammar. If you want to start a business, first understand the core value proposition. If you skip foundational steps, you will struggle later. 2. Water. Adaptability in modern life. Adaptability is important in a world where technology and social norms change often. For example, consider a professional who needs to learn a new software tool. Instead of resisting, they learn quickly and adjust their workflow. And adaptable people improve their ability to solve problems. They do not cling to outdated methods. 3. Fire. Decisive action in modern life. Sometimes it is necessary to make a clear decision without delay. For example, if an investment opportunity is time-sensitive, a person may need to act quickly to secure it. If a project faces a critical obstacle, immediate intervention may prevent further complications. The fire principle encourages people to know when to move forward with confidence. 4. Wind. Understanding others in modern life. Modern environments often involve competition, negotiation, or cooperation with many different parties. By examining the strategies of other people or organizations, one can anticipate their actions. For example, a business should study its competitors. A student should understand the standard of exams and assignments. By learning what others do, one can prepare more effectively. 5. Void. Mastery in modern life. The void principle suggests that with long-term practice, one's skills become integrated. An expert software developer writes code effortlessly. A skilled musician plays instruments without conscious focus on the technical details. A leader makes balanced decisions without confusion. To reach this state, a person must invest time and effort. They must learn principles so thoroughly that execution becomes natural. By applying these principles, a person can improve not only technical skills but also critical thinking, problem-solving, and decision-making. These improvements can occur in work, education, personal finance, or any area that demands strategic insight. One of Musashi's most interesting concepts was the idea of overcoming an opponent without drawing a weapon. This does not mean he refused to fight. It means that through careful study of human nature and environment, he could gain an advantage before the physical fight began. The no-sword strategy involves psychological preparation. Musashi understood that opponents are human. They have fears, biases, and habits. By observing their behavior, he could predict their responses to stress. He could identify weaknesses in their approach. Sometimes, by creating a situation where the opponent felt uncertain, Musashi could achieve victory without engaging in a prolonged fight. In modern terms, this could mean preparing thoroughly for a negotiation. If one party knows the other's needs, constraints, and priorities, they can make an offer that the other party feels compelled to accept. Another example is in a job interview. If the candidate understands the employer's expectations and concerns, the candidate can address them directly, leading to a favorable outcome without prolonged back and forth. The no-sword strategy teaches that force is not always the best solution. Often, understanding people's mindsets and influencing their decisions leads to more effective outcomes. This principle emphasizes preparation, research, emotional intelligence, and self-control. Musashi developed a style of swordsmanship known as Niten Ichi Ryu. This style involved using two swords at once. At that time, many samurai focused on a single sword technique. By using two swords, Musashi introduced a different dynamic. It allowed simultaneous offense and defense. It required coordination and balance. The significance of Niten Ichi Ryu is not limited to swordsmanship. It represents the idea that one should not limit oneself to a single method or tool. If one tool is effective, consider how using two tools together might increase efficiency. In a modern business environment, this might mean combining two strategies at once. For example, a company might pursue online marketing while also attending industry trade shows. By using multiple channels, the company increases reach and reduces dependence on a single approach. Niten Ichi Ryu also required a high level of skill and practice. Managing two swords is more complex than managing one. This teaches that advanced strategies often require more effort, careful training, and a willingness to move beyond familiar techniques. The lesson is that by broadening one's capabilities, new opportunities arise. Musashi's life was shaped by conflict and uncertainty. He learned early that conditions can change quickly. A strategy that worked once may not work again. He approached each situation with fresh eyes. He did not rely on past victories. Instead, he continuously improved his methods. This mindset applies to modern situations in many ways. Consider technological change. 10 years ago, certain skill sets were valuable. Today, they may be less relevant. People who remain adaptable continue to learn new skills. They attend workshops, read books, or practice new techniques. By doing so, they stay relevant. Adaptability also involves recognizing when a current approach is no longer effective. In such moments, a person must switch to a different method. This might mean changing careers, learning a new language, or adopting new tools. Adaptability is not a passive trait. It requires active effort, ongoing assessment, and a willingness to discard outdated assumptions. Musashi's strategies encourage people to see challenges as problems that can be solved with preparation and creative thinking. He showed that an individual who remains flexible is harder to defeat. Near the end of his life, Musashi wrote the Dokkodo. It is a short text containing 21 precepts. These precepts address personal conduct, mindset, and moral stance. They are not detailed strategies like those in the Book of Five Rings. Instead, they are guiding principles for living a disciplined and focused life. Let us consider each precept and reflect on its meaning. We will present them in a simplified form. The wording may differ slightly, but the essence remains true to Musashi's intent. We will then interpret their modern relevance. 1. Accept everything just as it is, meaning, do not deny reality. Recognize the situation as it exists. This is not a call for passivity, but for honest assessment. In modern life, before solving a problem, acknowledge it fully. Do not pretend conditions are different than they are. 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake, meaning, do not engage in activities purely for indulgence. Maintain balance and purpose. In modern life, balance enjoyment with responsibility. Do not let short-term pleasure harm long-term goals. 3. Do not depend on partial feelings, meaning, avoid acting on incomplete emotions or half-formed judgments. Seek clarity. In modern life, when making decisions, gather full information. Do not rely on vague impressions. 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Meaning, do not become self-centered. Consider the larger environment and other people. In modern life, understand that personal perspective is limited. Value other viewpoints and the broader context. 5. Be detached from desire your entire life. Meaning, do not let desires control you. Maintain self-discipline. In modern life, it is acceptable to have goals, but do not let desires cloud judgment. Remain objective and calm. 6. Do not regret what you have done. Meaning, avoid wasting time with regret. Learn from mistakes and move on. In modern life, accept errors, correct them if possible, but do not dwell on them. Use them as lessons for future action. 7. Never be jealous, meaning jealousy distorts perception and causes irrational behavior. In modern life, recognize that everyone has different circumstances. Focus on self-improvement rather than comparing yourself to others. 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation, meaning understand that separations happen. Remain steady and move forward. In modern life, people change jobs, move to new places, and relationships evolve. Accept transitions and adapt. 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Meaning, holding resentment or complaining distracts from solutions. In modern life, use energy to address challenges, not to complain. Focus on progress rather than dwelling on negative feelings. 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love, meaning, do not allow strong emotional attachment to distort your judgment. In modern life, emotions are important but should not override reason. Maintain clear thinking even in personal relationships. 11. In all things, have no preferences, meaning, avoid rigid attachments. Remain open and balanced. In modern life, be flexible. If you are too fixed on a particular approach, you may ignore a better solution. 12. Be indifferent to where you live, meaning, one's environment should not dictate inner stability. In modern life, adapt to your environment. Do not rely on external conditions for mental peace. 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food, meaning, do not seek sensory pleasures as a primary goal. In modern life, enjoy resources moderately. Do not let trivial preferences dominate your decision-making. 14. Do not hold on to possessions you do not need, meaning, do not let material excess distract you. In modern life, keep your life organized and efficient. Focus on what is essential. Avoid clutter. 15. Do not act following customary beliefs, meaning do not follow traditions blindly. Evaluate their purpose and relevance. In modern life, question old habits. If they no longer serve a purpose, consider changing them. 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful, meaning specialize in what is necessary. Do not become obsessed with tools. In modern life, do not hoard unneeded skills or objects. Focus on what adds value. 17. Do not fear death, meaning accept mortality. Do not let fear of death influence decisions. In modern life, focus on living well rather than fearing the inevitable. Make rational decisions without panic. 18. Do not seek to possess good or evil in any form, meaning avoid labeling everything strictly. Remain neutral and observe without bias. In modern life, avoid rigid moral extremes. Consider context and seek understanding. 19. Be indifferent to where your life ends, meaning do not fixate on controlling every aspect of your destiny. In modern life, accept that some elements are beyond control. Focus on what you can influence. 20. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help, meaning have respect for spiritual concepts but rely on personal effort. In modern life, be respectful toward beliefs or higher principles, but take responsibility for your own actions. 21. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor, meaning physical life is temporary, but principles and integrity matter. In modern life, uphold ethical standards. Do not sacrifice integrity for short-term gains. These 21 precepts emphasize personal responsibility, discipline, detachment, and honesty. They focus on maintaining mental clarity, moral consistency, and practical living. While the context differs from Musashi's time, these guidelines can still inform modern living. They encourage individuals to live with purpose, free from unnecessary confusion. No historical figure or philosophy is without criticism. Some argue that Musashi's strategies were shaped by violent conflict and may not fully align with peaceful modern values. Others say his advice lacks warmth or empathy. Some critics believe that Musashi's emphasis on detachment may lead to emotional isolation. There are also claims that his methods are too individualistic for collective environments that require teamwork and consensus. It is important to consider the context. Musashi lived in a time of duels and warfare. His immediate concern was survival and victory. When applying his teachings today, we must adapt them. For instance, strategic thinking can be applied ethically. One can plan without causing harm. Detachment does not have to mean neglecting human relationships. Instead, it can mean avoiding emotional bias and maintaining balance. Another criticism is that Musashi's teachings might seem too strict or demanding. The precepts in the Dokkodo may appear unrealistic or too austere for ordinary life, but it is not necessary to follow them perfectly. Readers can extract elements that suit their goals. They can use Musashi's guidelines as a reference point, not a rigid code. In short, while some criticisms are valid, many of Musashi's principles remain useful when interpreted carefully. Adaptation and contextualization are necessary to make them relevant in diverse modern environments. Musashi's teachings are not the only source of strategic thought. Other well-known strategists include Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, and Niccolò Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince. Each had unique contexts and focuses. Sun Tzu emphasized avoiding direct conflict if possible, using deception and winning without fighting. Machiavelli focused on political power, control, and practical statecraft. Musashi's focus was personal skill, mental discipline, and direct engagement with opponents. While all three address strategy, Musashi's perspective stems from personal combat and self-cultivation, rather than large-scale warfare or state management. People who study strategy may find value in comparing these sources. Each provides different angles on the same goal, achieving objectives in uncertain conditions. By contrasting Musashi's emphasis on personal mastery and adaptability with Sun Tzu's emphasis on positioning and timing, for example, one can gain a richer understanding of strategy. In modern business, Musashi's principles can guide decision-making. Consider a company facing market changes. The Earth principle suggests having a solid foundation, such as reliable products or core services. The Water principle suggests adapting product features or marketing strategies when consumer demands shift. The Fire principle suggests taking decisive action, such as launching a new campaign to stay ahead of competition. The Wind principle suggests studying competitors, analyzing their pricing, product quality, and customer service. By understanding others, a company can position itself more effectively. The Void principle suggests achieving a level of organizational skill where decisions follow from a deep understanding of market trends, allowing quick and appropriate responses without confusion. The Dokkodo's emphasis on detachment, avoiding unnecessary possessions, and not being influenced by emotional reactions can help leaders maintain clear judgment. If a project fails, instead of complaining, the team can learn from the mistake and proceed more intelligently next time. By avoiding jealousy or regret, the organization remains focused on objective progress. For personal development, Musashi's strategies encourage continuous learning. If a person wants to become more skillful in a certain profession, they must first master basic skills. Earth. They must learn to adapt to new tools or trends. Water. They must know when to act decisively to seize opportunities. Fire. They should understand the approaches of others in the field. Wind. Over time, through long practice, they aim to perform their work fluidly and effectively. Void. The Dokkodo's precepts can guide personal behavior. For instance, not regretting past actions helps maintain forward momentum. Not complaining leads to a more solution-focused mindset. Not relying on transient desires helps maintain long-term perspective. By applying these lessons, a person can become more disciplined, less reactive to small setbacks, and more strategic in everyday life. Musashi's principles encourage a rational approach. They do not rely on wishful thinking or luck. They rely on careful observation, honest self-assessment, and informed action. In education, students can apply Musashi's principles to improve their study habits. The Earth principle suggests mastering the basics of a subject before moving to advanced topics. If a student struggles with advanced mathematics, they should return to fundamental operations and ensure understanding. The Water principle suggests that if a study method is not working, try a different method. If reading textbooks is ineffective, consider watching educational videos or practicing problems directly. Adaptation improves learning efficiency. The Fire principle can encourage decisive effort when approaching exams or deadlines. Instead of procrastinating, a student can take action and complete tasks promptly. The Wind principle can mean understanding how other students study, what methods they use, and how teachers design exams. This knowledge provides an advantage. The Void principle suggests that, after thorough practice, skills become natural. A student who practices a language extensively can speak and think in that language without struggling to recall words. Over time, mastery removes the constant strain of conscious effort. The Dokkodo's emphasis on not regretting mistakes and not complaining can also help. A student who receives a poor grade should not waste time feeling regret. Instead, they can analyze what went wrong, correct their approach, and improve next time. In personal finance, Musashi's principles can help individuals make better decisions. The Earth principle suggests having a stable financial foundation. This could mean having an emergency fund or understanding the basics of saving and budgeting. The Water principle suggests flexibility in financial strategies. If one investment is not performing well, it might be wise to adjust the strategy. If personal expenses rise unexpectedly, reconsider the budget. Flexibility ensures resilience. The FIRE principle could apply to moments when quick financial decisions are necessary, such as seizing a good buying opportunity. However, this should always be done with careful analysis rather than impulse. The WIND principle means understanding the broader financial environment. Know what other investors or market participants are doing. Understand interest rates, regulatory changes, and economic indicators. This knowledge allows more informed decisions. The void principle may be harder to apply directly to finance, but it could mean reaching a level of financial literacy where decisions are made efficiently and calmly without confusion. The Dokkodo's principles, like avoiding unnecessary possessions, align well with responsible spending habits. Not being swayed by desires or jealousy can prevent unnecessary purchases and financial strain. In health and fitness, the Earth principle means establishing basic health routines. Before trying complex exercise programs, learn correct form and balanced nutrition. Without strong fundamentals, progress will be limited. The water principle suggests adjusting workouts or diets if results are not improving. If a certain exercise causes strain, try a different one. Adapt the approach to maintain consistent progress. The FIRE principle might mean taking decisive action to start a new fitness program. Instead of delaying, begin exercising immediately. Commit to a plan at the correct moment. The WIND principle could mean studying how others maintain their health. Learn from various fitness disciplines. Understand multiple approaches like strength training, cardiovascular exercise, and flexibility routines. This knowledge allows for creating a balanced and effective personal program. The void principle might represent reaching a state where exercise feels natural and integrated into daily life. After consistent practice, healthy habits require less effort and become second nature. The Dokkodo's guidance, such as not clinging to desires and not complaining, helps maintain a stable mindset. Fitness progress takes time. Complaining about slow results does not help. Instead, remain consistent, adjust methods when needed, and accept the reality of gradual improvement. Musashi emphasized calmness and mental control. He faced life-or-death duels. Losing focus meant losing life. Today, while not all situations are this extreme, mental discipline remains valuable. Mental discipline involves controlling emotional responses, managing stress, and maintaining clarity under pressure. Techniques may include simple deep breathing, taking short breaks to reassess a situation, or practicing meditation to improve focus. Musashi's principles encourage analyzing a situation rather than reacting emotionally. For example, if a work project faces unexpected obstacles, panicking does not solve the problem. Instead, acknowledge the obstacle, gather facts, consider solutions, and then act. This approach is similar to Musashi's method of understanding an opponent's moves before deciding how to engage. Musashi never considered his learning complete. He fought many duels and achieved much, yet he continued refining his technique and understanding. This attitude is vital in any field. Continuous improvement prevents stagnation. In modern life, continuous improvement might mean taking additional courses, learning new software, refining communication skills, or seeking feedback from peers and supervisors. It means being open to change and correction. A continuous improvement mindset also involves regular self-assessment. Ask questions such as, is this method effective? Have conditions changed? Are there better approaches available? Musashi's adaptability suggests that there is always room to grow. Musashi's teachings also imply avoiding unnecessary complexity. He often discussed direct, efficient methods of engagement. In modern terms, this can mean focusing efforts on high-priority tasks and not wasting time on activities that do not contribute to goals. By cutting away unnecessary steps, clutter, or distractions, a person can work more effectively. The Dokkodo precepts also warn against accumulating unnecessary possessions or wasting energy on complaints. By removing distractions, a person can concentrate on tasks that lead to tangible results. When applying strategic principles, ethical considerations arise. Musashi lived in a time of violence. Modern individuals often aim to solve problems peacefully and ethically. It is possible to apply Musashi's principles without causing harm. For example, instead of using psychological strategies to manipulate someone in a dishonest way, use them to understand clients' needs better and serve them more effectively. Strategy should not be confused with trickery. Musashi's core idea was understanding reality accurately and acting effectively. There is no need to use these teachings to exploit others. Instead, use them to improve personal performance, help organizations run smoothly, and reduce confusion in collaborative projects. Ethical application ensures that Musashi's teachings become a tool for positive growth rather than a means of manipulation. Musashi understood the importance of the long-term view. He learned from each encounter and built a lifetime of skill. Similarly, do not focus only on immediate gains. Consider the long-term effects of decisions. In finance, this might mean considering the sustainability of investments. In career planning, it might mean acquiring skills that will remain valuable in the future. In personal growth, it might mean developing habits that support health and well-being over many years. A long-term perspective allows more stable decision-making. It prevents impulsive actions that lead to regret. Musashi's life was a process. He refined his techniques and his thinking continuously. Modern individuals can do the same by planning ahead and making informed choices that contribute to a better future. Miyamoto Musashi lived centuries ago in a context very different from today's world. Yet, many of his principles remain useful. His focus on observation, adaptability, and continuous improvement is timeless. His recognition that mental discipline and strategic thinking apply to many endeavors is still relevant. Musashi did not claim that his methods were easy. They require effort, practice, and self-awareness. They also require a willingness to question assumptions and learn from mistakes. By taking these teachings and adjusting them to modern contexts, individuals can improve their ability to navigate complexity. We have explored the life, context, and teachings of Miyamoto Musashi in detail. We examined the historical background and the conditions that shaped his mindset. We analyzed the Book of Five Rings and understood how its 5 conceptual rings can guide strategy in any field. We discussed the Dokkodo's 21 precepts for personal conduct and learned how they can influence everyday life. We connected Musashi's principles to modern scenarios, such as business strategy, personal development, education, finance, health, and more. We acknowledged criticisms and limitations, emphasizing that adaptation and careful interpretation are necessary. We considered ethical aspects and the importance of a long-term perspective. By applying these lessons, you can improve your decision-making, enhance your adaptability, and strengthen your mental discipline. You can learn to observe carefully, plan effectively, and act with clarity. Musashi's life and work show that strategic thinking is a skill that can be developed and refined. We hope this thorough exploration helps you understand how to apply Musashi's insights in your own life. Remember that these teachings are tools, not rigid rules. Adjust them to your personal situation, remain open-minded, and continue to learn. In a changing world, strategic thinking and adaptability can help you remain steady and effective. Thank you for watching and considering these lessons. May they assist you in making thoughtful decisions, approaching challenges with confidence, and striving for continuous growth in whatever path you follow.